Thank you.
All right. Is this on? Oh, we're going to use the microphone? We're going to use the microphone. Welcome. Come on down. We're going to use this chance to say a few words about, well, both our friends who we're delighted to have with us and our daughter who we're so excited for. We're not going to say congratulations yet. I've also been told to not say don't fuck it up tomorrow. I've been told that that's not encouraging, but you should not. Although I know you're not going to, which is why I can make that joke. Oh, right, that's right. So don't say that, girl. It's terrible. Anyway, we wanted to say, we thought we'd take this time to bless our kids collectively. We're going to say a special blessing for Zara, but maybe like find a parent or somebody. And I'm going to bless Zara with my grandfather's tallis, which I did at her baby naming. Ah. This is my grandfather's tallis, which has a coffee stain on it, by the way, which speaks to his commitment to Judaism and also his love of coffee. But actually, a cousin of his told me once, and I think it was referring to us, that he said he didn't feel strongly that we didn't have a very active Jewish life as kids, but he wanted his kids to have a little bit of Yiddishkeit.
Adam, hold him up.
Hold on up? Oh, better. He wanted his kids to have a little bit of Yiddishkeit, to know a little about the Jewish people. And I think he would be particularly happy with how much you know about the Jewish people. I'm going to cover this up, and we're all going to say the bracha over our children. We're all going to say the bracha over our children. We're going to start with the girls. Yismeik Elohim Kasara Rivka Rachel Valeah. Reka Yair Shmaka Kanavileka Bikunecha Yasad Nai Panavila Yilhim Laha Shalom.
Amen.
For the boys?
Yeah.
For the boys,
All the way there.
Yismeik Elohim K'Ephraim v'Menashe. Reka Yair Adonai Panav Elecha V'Necha. So Zara, I believe on special moments that our ancestors stand with us, and this is one of those moments. Your grandfather is standing with us, I think. Your grandfather is standing with us, my grandfather, all our grandfathers. And they would be so proud and delighted with the girl you've become. At our Simchat Bat, the last time I probably took this tallis out of the bag, Shelley said the perfect thing, which she usually does, and then 13 years later, I usually take it without attribution.
17?
13 years later. And she said that she knew the day she saw you that you were the daughter she was bound to have. And I have felt that way every single day. Little did I know that 3 years later, I would get another daughter I was bound to have. But I have enjoyed every day of it so much. You are so funny and so engaging. You care and pay attention to the kids who need it the least, which makes you special. You are a delight to talk to. You are a hard worker. When things don't come easy to you, you thrive and try even harder. You've made your mother and I so happy. The idea of this Friday night was to sort of pick just the few people that we really thought were special to our family. That started with a list of like 12. But here we are, and we're delighted to have you. We're so thrilled. I'm going to let your mom say something, and then
I'll end it. Why don't we let my...
Marty, we're going to let, this is Zara's grandfather.
Now?
Toots, come on in. Are you ready?
And Bubby.
And Bubby.
Okay. Watch them. Yeah, watch them. Okay. Don't laugh.
Marty,
You want your notes?
maybe come a little bit this way.
Put this down someplace.
So, did you gotta go with them? Did you go with?
I know what you're all thinking. I know it. This man could not really be the grandfather, right? There's no. I'm glad I got a little reaction. In today's world of Trump, I thought narcissism may say he may be serious about this.
Marty, use the mic.
Use the mic? Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think it's too close.
Okay. What I want to say now is, Zara, one of the few benefits of aging, given the alternative, I guess, is having grandchildren. And we have a joyful grandchild in Zara. She is energetic, bright, warm, affectionate. That's really important. I remember when I was a little kid, my mother would say, go kiss Bubby and Zadie. And I said, I don't know. I said, you'll have castor oil if you don't kiss them. I said, give me the castor oil, give me the castor oil. In any event, it's very different. She's very affectionate, charming, great to be with. I have to say, there's one beef I have with her. Yeah, I have to tell you. Whenever they're talking about coming over, they say they're going to go to Bubby's house. We passed the house, we said, there's Bubby's house. I said, Zara, I live there too. She said, I know that, you live in Bubby's house. Every time we go there, you're there too. So I recognize the priority there. I'm in the top 5, maybe the top 10. But she is a real delight. So there's a couple of things I should say. I wanted to mention comments that are made often at these types of events. My children, Danny, Shelley, and Sharon, often when they have the mic and talk about me, say I'm the perfect dad, except for 2 flaws. Everything I say and everything I do. And I come back and say to them, Danny, Shelley, and Sharon, we have wonderful children. 2 out of 3 is not bad. Talk amongst yourselves. But, you know, we're looking forward tomorrow to a great day. Zara is just terrific at this already. I've seen the dress rehearsal. In fact, about 3 years ago, I went to an abbreviated service and she was already reading the Torah. Now, when I was her age, my folks were trying to give me a Jewish education. They were kosher, like Adam and Shelley. In Orthodox. And they sent me to a Hebrew school 2 hours every day after school. And I would come home year after year with my report card. And I couldn't figure out what the report card said. And my father looked it over and said, that's a dalet. That's a D. I said, you sure that's not an aleph? That's not an aleph, that's a dalet. So they knew I was not going to go to yeshiva. Thank God for that. But this girl is something. So I've seen her do a wonderful job already, again, 3 years ago. So you're in for a treat. And I will say that though in most services, I look forward to kvetching. But this service, I'm going to be looking forward to kvelling. You get that one? The last thing I'm going to say, before handing it over to Lenore, is that maybe with some luck, in about 10, 15 years, 20 years, I'll be able to speak at Sarah's wedding. Oh. Don't rush at all, but be as selective in your mother in picking out a very great husband that you do. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the #1 on the priority in my family. Who was that?
Silverman.
Was that Silverman? Look at the dome head up here. That's Silverman. He is he's with my law firm. He has so many brains. He tells me that it forced his hair follicles to leave. But he's a great tax lawyer. In fact, 9 out of 10 of the people he's given advice to are out of jail already. So it's all right, now with that, I want to hand over to the #1 in priority in our family, the famous Bubby alias Little Schneiderman.
Yay, thank you. So, unlike Marty, I need some notes. He tried to write my speech. He even typed it out, made a card, and I said, no, there's no way that he could express how I feel about Zara and Vivi. Okay? When I became a grandmother, it came as a great surprise to me that I could feel, okay, you hold it, that I could feel about my grandchildren the same way I felt about my own children. How is that possible with the passage of time and a different generation, and yet the intensity of the feelings that I had for all of the kids, it was remarkable. I was totally surprised. So, I see in Zara many things like her mother. Okay?
Uh-oh.
Both good and bad. Okay? First of all, Zara is beautiful, like Shelley. She's feisty. She is independent and prone to blow-ups, like her mother. Right, girls?
Yes.
Okay. But I have observed Zara with her cousins, her friends, the way she treats her grandparents, that I have no doubt in my mind that she will blossom into a beautiful young adult. Okay. When I observe Shelley and Zara together in the not so wonderful times, I recall Mother's Prayer. And there's not a woman here who doesn't have children who doesn't know this prayer. Someday you will have a daughter.
I'll have a daughter.
Someday.
Someday. And
Someday? Feisty one.
she will say some horrible and hateful things to you. And you're going to experience how it feels, and you're going to have to deal with it, how you will react to it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, Shelley was a wonderful daughter. I couldn't love her more if I tried.
But
thank goodness that Adam has sort of a tempering mood that Zara has inherited, because I have no doubt that she is going to grow up and be just a beautiful person in her own right. I love you.
I don't want to go last.
okay.
All right, so this is fun because I feel like most people here, with rare exception, know me as a ducker. And this was like a welcome to the Schneiderman side, where sort of the sense of humor comes from, and maybe some of the extrovertedness. I'll say this. We were very specific in wanting Sukkot. Like Bethel, who here has gone through a bar bat mitzvah at Bethel? Okay, and who, when you have to fill out the form, how many choices for dates do they give you? There was more than 3. It was like 4, and so we kind of wrote down like a date. And we found a match, actually. The family ended up, for other reasons, like actually leaving the shoal, not because of us. So we think. But we were like, it's all about Sukkot, right? Because Sukkot is about Ushprazim. It's like welcoming the guest, like kind of leaving your place of comfort, going outside, having an adventure, welcoming people, right? Decorating your sukkah, right? So it felt like it was the holiday that embodied the Duckers as we embody them, and embodied our family, and then also embodied Zara's spirit. And so it's fun kind of looking around here, because I remember conversations like we had, like a couple years ago, Aria and Allison were here, and I was like, oh, it's Sukkot, you're here, we're like shaking the lulav and etrog, and Aria is like, you don't shake it on, like, on Shabbat, and I was like, we'll light the candles after, we're shaking it. And Rebecca's here, she's like, well, it's a different prayer. And what I love about Judaism is like, there's like a whole continuum of what we're going to do and not going to do, and the fact I know we're taking photos and filming, but like we're here, we're a community, and we're supporting each other. And that's what's so important to our family, and that's what we really are passing along to Zara through the Schneidermans, through the Duckers, and through everyone here today. You're part of our family. So with that I say Shabbat Shalom, Sukkot Sameach, and I think, are we doing Kiddush?
Kiddush.
Oh wait, Zara, sorry. Zara wants to say, sorry.
I was going to say a few words.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Right, yeah. Yeah, ready to go.
It's at the mic.
Thank you for, it's not even right yet. Thank you for coming over, Mitzvah. The people who make fun of me most about mispronouncing it, I don't think are here right now, actually. But it's kind of an issue. But thank you for being here. It means a lot to me. Very excited about tomorrow. I'm kind of nervous. It's going to be okay. Yeah, just you guys let me know a lot to me. Thank you.
All right. Kiddush, Motzi. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharim, Malachei Elyon,
It's not there, so someone must have passed it right.
Malachei Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Yep. Then we have grape juice.
I don't.
Get it.
Wait, I need grape juice. It's okay. Thank you. Bore Peri Hagafel. Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Asher b'kadshah v'ahava u'vratan hinhilanu. Sigaro l'ma'aseh bereshit. Ki hu yom tehillah v'mikra'eh kodesh. V'tzion mitzvah Kivanu v'harta Yatzanu kirashka Mikol amim V'shavat kodshecha V'ahava u'ratzon Kimaltanu Baruch Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Cousins, come.
All the cousins.
Jacob, everybody, Noah, Zev, Caroline, come. Every cousin, come in. Everybody hands in and listen to me. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min ha'aretz. Where's Amen?
Yeah, take a big piece for
Okay.
Ready? Cheryl!
So, enjoy. There'll be dinner served.